I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and today I'm just going to put it all together and give you a final set of tips on how to build an effective strategy. Okay, point number one is, why are you building the strategy? You need to be clear why you want to have an improved strategy in your organization. It could be performance, it could be increased profits, it could be that you want to grow the organization. Whatever it is, be clear of what you want to achieve, and that's a good starting point. The next stage is to get a mediator involved. What do I mean by that? I mean somebody outside the organization. I've seen it myself when I've got a group of people together to build a strategy. If you have people only in the company, they end up challenging each other. Bring a mediator from outside to manage or facilitate the process, and it works a lot better because they can step in and stop people getting carried away, because you know what happens when people's egos clash. Number three, once you start your strategy process, the first thing to do is to do a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? Well, that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. The way it works is very simple. You look at your strengths as an organization and you look at your weaknesses as an organization. Then what you do is you look from the outside perspective of what are the opportunities and also what are the threats. By having that understanding before you start to build a strategy, you'll focus on what the key strengths are of your organization rather than focusing on the weakness, which could trip up your process of trying to build an effective strategy. The next stage, as I mentioned before, is get people involved. Don't just do it on your own. Get your team together, whether it's a team of a division, a team in an office, or the senior management team, because collectively you'll achieve far more than an individual trying to do it on their own. And if people are involved in the process, they'll take ownership, and if they take ownership, they'll want to make it work. So that all works in your favor. The next stage is communication. Once you've built your strategy, you've got to communicate it to everybody within the organization. You've got to share with everybody else who wasn't there what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you want to achieve. That will make it very successful. The next area is accountability. You've got to make sure the people involved are accountable. You've got to set targets and goals that they have to achieve, because if they don't achieve, then it means it's going to be the weak link in the big chain. Because if other people are succeeding and one area is letting everybody down, it's not going to work. So accountability is important. And the other thing that's very important is timelines. Set specific targets for specific timelines. You must have timelines. Otherwise what happens is there's enthusiasm at the start, then it just all fades away and people forget about it. But if you set specific timelines over the next 6, 12, 18 months, and you hold people to deliver on those dates, well then you'll see your strategy starts to work really well. And at the end of the day, strategy is not complex. Strategy is about wanting to do better as an individual, as a group, or even as an organization. But it takes a little bit of planning, and it takes total focus on what it is that you're trying to do. And by doing that, you'll probably achieve a very good strategy. Thank you for joining me in this series. I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next series, which will be out in another month or so.